If you like the creepy, ambiguous, slow burn horror of A24 films, or if you like the ineffable terrors of writers like Laird Barron or John Langan, and you haven't seen Phase 4, well, that's how you get Ants. I'm Adam Caesar, I write books, and I talk about horror movies on the internet. Give me a follow if you want to see more like this. This is Saul Bass's one and only feature film, Phase 4. This is the beautiful 4K edition put out by Vinegar Syndrome. And this movie constantly comes up when people talk about kind of, oh, what could have been, or flawed movies, or movies that are close to greatness. I don't really agree with that, because I think Phase 4, as it is in its theatrical version, is pretty great. Phase 4 tells the story of two dudes going off into this research station in a semi-secluded area. There is a family that lives near them, and they're going to conduct experiments on ants because something's going on with the ants. They're collaborating with between different species of ant, between different colonies in ways they never have. There's something up, like they're maybe coming to get humanity in some weird way, and the origins of it might be from space, the origins of it might be just nature. We don't quite know, and that's what these researchers are looking to find out as they go into the desert. If that sounds like Them or Tarantula or some kind of radioactive killer bug movie, that's not what Phase 4 is. It shares some DNA with movies like that, but it is much more, I'd say, kind of classy and thoughtful. It's closer to 2001: A Space Odyssey than it is like The Black Scorpion. And part of what makes it so great is not only Saul Bass, who you know Saul Bass's work even if you don't know his name, especially most famously in Psycho, where he not only designed credit sequences for Hitchcock, but he also was kind of the creative consultant, I think, is what they called it, on the shower sequence. But his direction is incredible, and there is a lot of close-up nature photography, I guess micro photography in this film, directed by a guy named Ken Middleham. And that's really, for me, is the highlight of this movie. You see ants so up close. These are not puppets. These are not hokey special effects. There's no stop motion animation involved. These are real ants doing things that you do not expect ants to do, photographed basically like you're watching a nature documentary as they're messing with these two scientists, and it's incredible. There's also these great sequences where like the ants are building basically these like ziggurats, or these pyramid structures that you're not even quite sure what they are. They're attacking the scientists in these weird and novel and smart ways. A creepy and cool science fiction movie that, you know, edges over into horror in some moments, but it is really this kind of big idea science fiction movie. And when a lot of people talk about this movie, they talk about the fact that Saul Bass had these grandiose ideas for how the movie would end, and it was going to be this big, huge, similar to 2001, this big, huge kind of psychedelic montage with all these trippy visuals, but he never got to finish it. He did some kind of work print mock-up of it. The studio and the people making the film were like, no way, let's just put a quicker, cleaner ending on it. For years, that was unseeable, but just recently it had screened at a few Academy events, a few Film Academy events, and Vinegar Syndrome got permission to put that on this that extended work print version of Saul Bass's ending on this disc. And I'm going to say something controversial here. I don't prefer it to the theatrical. I think it's fine. I think it's cool. I would like to see what it would have been had it been fully realized. But I think Phase 4 works perfectly well the way it is. It has some voiceover that Saul Bass didn't want to put in it. It has all these kind of compromised, more commercial ideas and techniques in it, but I think they work. I think they make a good movie, especially, like I said, if you like stuff like Laird Barron, if you like that kind of cosmic horror scares, if you like those like science horror type stories, Phase 4 is a great one of those.